Welcome to the season finale of First and 10 with Rams football coach Brad Sherrod. I'm Jimmy the St. Christopher. Rams 10-0 perfect regular season ended on November 30th with a 42-33 loss to Benedictine in round 2 of the NAIA Football Championship. Rams were down by 10 points at the half. They were outscored in the second half 28-9. Coach, what did Benedictine do in that second half?
Well, I think what it came down to is they wore us down in the end. You know, the plays we were making at the beginning of the game, we just weren't able to make them at the end. That's a telltale sign of what we need to do this offseason, hit that weight room and change some things in there and get some things improved in there to help our guys be at their max potential at that time of year. But they did a good job. Credit goes to them. They did a good job. We had some miscues and did some things that we couldn't overcome, and credit to them.
How did Benedictine hold Ernie Caesar, that's the Rams' season, and not only season, but career rushing leader, Ernie Caesar, to just 33 yards on 18 carries?
Well, they did a good job up front of getting off blocks. You know, they played a lot of too high, played some cover 3, but they did a great job of getting off blocks up front and making some plays there. So there was opportunities there to run the football, but like I said, credit those guys getting off blocks and making plays.
Were you surprised by Benedictine's physicality?
No, I wasn't. They're an experienced team that's been in the playoffs before, so I'm sure, just from watching film, they looked bigger, thicker guys, and I knew we'd have our hands full up front on both sides of the ball. So and that's where it starts, up front, on the offensive line, defensive line, to win that. So we need to do a good job of kind of improve that area for us. Our guys did a great job of playing and fighting and played hard. They never quit, but I could tell that size started to wear on our bodies a little bit as the game went on, and I thought we mustered up the courage, not the courage, but the energy to fight that. But at some point, as the game wears on and you start getting that pounding, and you start to give up some things in some areas.
Carson Rogers had a great regular season, and he was pretty good in the second round game against Benedictine, but what caused him to throw those 4 interceptions?
Well, you know, they did a good job of missing up some coverage and stuff, some things he didn't see, and he probably threw it in some areas that he shouldn't have. But, you know, Carson's been a good leader for us all year long, and those things happen when you put the ball in there. We don't like to have 4 interceptions for sure, but those things happen when you put the ball in there. It's like option. When they pitch it, anything could happen. But, you know, he's done a great job of making great decisions all year long. It's just this game, they gave us some stuff, or gave him some things that he probably hadn't seen before, or just kind of rotated late, and he threw those interceptions.
Did you see that his confidence was rattled because of that? And if so, what did you say to him after the game?
Well, you know, I don't know if his confidence was rattled. I think what happened was, you know, once you make one bad mistake like that and that happens to you, it probably plays a little bit into your psyche. But, you know, you got to keep playing. I don't believe in taking players out when they have a bad series. I want them to learn how to play through that stuff and fight through that kind of stuff. And we have to be there encouraging them to do that. So, and we still believe in Carson. He's our quarterback. He's one of our better players. And I have all the confidence in the world in him.
What was the turning point to this game? As we mentioned, it was 24-14 Rams at the end of the first half, and then they got outscored 28-9 in the second half. But when do you think was the turning point?
Well, you know, we went out, started the half. We stopped them on defense and forced them to punt, you know. But, you know, having that fumble on the return, you know, just a muff, that kind of changed the momentum of the game. But still, we were up by 3, I believe, at that time, and we were in the middle of the third quarter, and their punter got hurt, and that was another 20-minute delay. So that probably had a little factor into that. But we need to learn how to fight through that stuff. We had delays before, and we've learned how to play through that stuff, and we should have kept our momentum going. But that changed the momentum of the game with that muff punt. But you know, Jason's been making plays like that all year long for us. So. If that falls on anybody, that falls on me, because I am the punt return coach, but he's done that most of the year and made some big time plays for us. So, and he continued to play hard after that and do some good things for us. So we just have to learn from those situations. Mm-hmm. This is a good learning situation for us. just being in the playoffs, being in the national level like that, it's a different game. You know, the refs will allow you to play a little bit more. You know, they're going to let you be a little bit more handsy as a defensive back. So we have to learn how to play through those kind of things. I thought it was a good learning experience for our kids, and you know, hopefully we can get back to that point again.
And the Louisiana Christian game last year was kind of similar. It wasn't a playoff game. It was kind of similar to this game in that LC led by 10 at the end of the first half, and the Rams had a big lead in the second half, which they lost, and they ended up losing the game. But did any of that seep into the minds of the players who played in that game last year? And if so, did that have an effect on any of the players that played in that game last year, thinking, well, I hope this doesn't turn out like the LC game did last year?
No, I thought our kids played hard. You know, we were still in that ball game. I just felt like if we'd have scored in that third quarter, it would have been a different outcome. And we continued to keep playing good defense. And we did continue to keep playing good defense as it went on. So I don't think that creeped in our guys' mind. I really don't. You know, we focused on just playing every series, every play, being in the moment, not thinking about what could happen, bad or good, just kind of playing that play. And I thought our guys were focused. I thought we were playing in the moment. Just some things happened. We had some things happen that we couldn't overcome. And but I give credit to our players on how hard they played and staying in the moment there, because they still gave us a chance to win that ball game. And going into the middle way of the third quarter, we were still up, and we still had a chance.
You mentioned the fight. Does that fight make you more prouder, if you could be more prouder, because they fought like that, even into the end there?
Yeah, I'm proud of the way they played. Like I told them, I said, you're expected to play hard, you know, and that's what you should do because you have the opportunity to play. So we always want to play hard and play our best. Now, playing hard and executing, we need to execute a little bit better at a higher level. That's what we have to learn how to continue to play hard but execute at a higher level. And I don't think we executed at a high level that quarter and a half towards the end of the game. And we need to learn how to do that a little bit better in those tougher situations against a very good football team.
We'll look ahead to see what's on the slate for the Rams in the 2025. But first, let's hear from our friends at NBT Bank.
We are Texas Wesleyan University, serving Fort Worth since 1890.
And we are NBT Financial Bank, serving North Texas since 1973.
We provide customized degree programs to help you succeed in today's market.
And we provide personalized service and financial tools to help you grow your business and your accounts.
We believe in smaller, smarter.
And we believe in exceeding expectations. NBT and Texas Wesleyan, two Fort Worth traditions, teaming up
to build tomorrow's leaders.
We are NBT Financial, Texas locally owned bank since 1973.
We are dedicated to providing prompt and courteous service.
We know our customers by name and tailor our services to fit their needs.
We are committed to helping small businesses grow and succeed.
We are involved in our communities here in North Texas.
We are Fort Worth.
We are Azle.
We are Burleson.
We are Hurst.
We are Willow Park. We are anywhere through the MyNBT mobile app.
We are NBT Financial Bank.
We'd love for you to come bank with us. You're going to like us.
Welcome back to First and 10 with Rams football coach Brad Sherrod. What do you like about the season, Coach? Recap the season, the 10-0 perfect season, and then the loss to Benedictine.
Well, I'm really proud of the way the guys stayed humble and stayed focused. And they had a mission. I thought our seniors did a great job of keeping the team together and keeping them focused and not getting, I guess you call it the big head because of how the season was going. So they stayed focused on their goal. They knew what they wanted to do, and that was win the conference outright and get to playoffs. And so I'm really proud of the way we just continue to work every day. And that's what we talk about, the process. We talked about working every day and what are you going to do when you get on that field so it shows up on Saturday. So that was our biggest thing all year long and our biggest theme all year long of doing that and developing that culture. So, and we still have some work to do. We're going to have some young guys step into some new roles and have to replace some guys. We got to replace Bob and we have to replace TJ. And Ernie, that's the biggest one. Mm-hmm. So, but our offensive line is coming back, and we're real excited about that. Have a chance to really grow there and get better there at that position. Defensively, we're losing Arian Bott, but we have a chance to get some young guys to jump in there and do some good things. So, I'm really happy about the future of this program and what the things that we can do. We still have to add some pieces to it. But the Benedictine loss, it was disappointing. in and how we ended that game. But I think it was a really good experience for our kids to see what it takes to play at that level. And we need to remind ourselves of that. And right now, it's hitting the recruiting trail and trying to replace those key guys and add some new pieces to it. And then winter conditioning is going to be big for this program. You know, we need to have guys remain in the program, stay in the program to get bigger, faster, stronger. You always hear that. Mm-hmm. And it all starts in the weight room. And I think that's where your mental toughness comes from. That's where your toughness comes from. And we need to be a little bit more mentally tough to fight through those situations. And I think, you know, the coaches I have in there, we added some new pieces for the weight room, for the coaching piece of it. We're going to do things a little bit different there to get ourselves where I think we need to be. And it all starts there in the weight room.
And you mentioned the offensive line, which was inexperienced going into this past season, but boy, they did a heck of a job for Ernie and for blocking, pass protecting for Carson. But so in the quarterback room looks pretty good with Rogers and Francis and Cade Gordon and whoever else you might recruit. But what other position areas do you think you'll emphasize in recruiting?
Well, the receiver room for sure. We got to make sure that we replace Bob and TJ for sure. We think we got some good pieces coming back, but we still need to add to that room. The running back room definitely we got to replace Ernie. That's going to be tough to have a back like Ernie. So we have to be careful that we don't go out and try to find a Ernie Caesar and compare every kid to him. But we need to have a special running back in that room. So we need to go out there and recruit that position. Our offensive line, even though we got better there, we need to add some depth to that room for sure. And we're going to recruit every position. Defensively, I think we need to add some depth to our linebacker room, our defensive back room for sure. You know, we're losing Jay Reed there at that position as one of our safeties, so we definitely need to add some depth there. And in the cornerback, we're losing Josh Morris, so we need to add some depth there as well. So we had about 4 to 5 guys that could play. We need to have about 8 to 10 guys that can play for us at that position. Same thing with linebacker. We should have 8 to 10 linebackers that can play for us. In defensive line, I thought we developed some younger kids, but we're going to have to add to that room as well. So every position be recruited. They're all important. And at this level, we want to try to play as many guys as we possibly can. And I think that will help us. By doing that, that helps us for next year. It helped us at least have that experience that they played before. And I think that was important for our development.
I mean, the guys that you recruited this past season, who stood out? Who are some of the recruits that stood out in this season past?
Oh, well, you know, you had Van Zandt that played defensive line for us. Mm-hmm. I thought he came along and developed as a really good football player. We got some young linebackers that show flashes. Livingston that showed some flashes and have a chance to be pretty good football players for us. But there's some defensive backs that didn't play for us that are freshmen that were in our development program. Just from watching them scrimmage, I think they will have a chance to come in and help us next year as well. So there's a lot of guys out there that are starting to show. We have a couple receivers that did some really good things in the development games and the scrimmages that we had. So I think those guys will come on and do a good job for us too. So, but we still need to add some off-season recruiting, some guys that can help us.
Now you came on late this year, your first year as head coach here for the Rams. How big, how important will it be to have a full year of recruiting? You have a full off season now rather than coming in late.
Yeah, it's going to be important that we recruit guys to, especially defensively, recruit guys to our system that we have. Offensively, I think Fran and those guys will continue to recruit the guys that fit the scheme that we have there. But the spring, the off season is really important. You know, the recruiting is extremely important, but I think the weight room is going to be really important to the guys that are here now and the guys that we add that are transferring, that could transfer in here. The spring practice will be big. That gives us another year to improve our defense and to add some different things to our defense that'll make us better. And I believe that those things will be real important to us. And then we want to finish up academically strong in the spring and then go into the summer and have another great summer. So I think this offseason is going to be really big for this program. And this is where championships are won. It's not in the fall, it's not in August. It's right now, you know, us to have a chance to even just to win the conference and get back to the conference champion, to win the conference championship, just to get to the playoffs, it's going to have to start in January when those kids get back here. And actually, it's going to be in December, too. I encouraged all those guys to go home and make sure they're working out, make sure they touch a weight, make sure they're running, make sure they touch a football. Like, don't spend the 4 weeks at home and not do those things. Because when they get back, we're going to hit the ground running. And that's going to be a lot of measurement and seeing where our guys are.
And when do you start recruiting? Like now, get done with
Yeah,
the
our guys
show?
have already started. You know, having that bye week, we stayed in and did football. So most teams are out recruiting that week. So our guys are out now this week. They'll be out next week. We'll take the Christmas break, and then we'll come back in the beginning of August and recruit, go to the convention, and come back and finish up another 2 weeks of recruiting. So we're hoping to get a really good class in here, and we're getting a little late start, but it's a good thing. You know, we can talk about our success of the season, talk about our playoff run, our championships, and I think that would hopefully give us some attention from some school kids that probably wouldn't look at us, and we'll be able to compete for some of those kids against some other schools.
How do you break down your recruiting? Do you start like in the Metroplex and then go regional and then state and then nationwide?
Well, we always start at home first, right here in Tarrant County, and do a great job here, and then we'll branch out from here and hit the Metroplex area and do some stuff there. Go to East Texas, go to Houston and do some stuff, and then we'll go to West Texas as well. So we got a coach out there as well. So, but we'll always start at home and recruit the kids from here first, and then we'll branch out from there.
Do you ever go to like Mexico, New Mexico, Arizona, California, the upper Midwest, back east to recruit?
No, we'll go out of state, but mostly it's going to be Louisiana. It's going to be Oklahoma. We'll do some of that. Now, if there's a kid that's interested in our program from a Florida or out east or California, if they have interest and we watch them and we like them enough to offer them something, yeah, but then we will recruit them. But we're going to mainly stay in state here, and then we'll branch out to Louisiana, like Louisiana, Oklahoma for sure, and do some stuff there.
And as you know, Coach, a coach's job, it never ends, and it's 24/7, literally almost 24/7, you know, every day. But you're going to take some time off now, especially during the holiday season. Will you take any time to get away someplace with you and your wife?
Yeah, my wife and I, my kids, teenagers, we'll head to North Carolina and see our families there for the break. And we'll be there like right before Christmas. And my son's at UTSA, so he travels with the team. He's a filmer, so I think they're going to the Myrtle Beach Bowl. So he'll be right there. So we'll gather there on the 23rd or 24th, do Christmas, and then we'll be back that weekend. And then it's back here working and recruiting. So that's what we do, and that's the time I'll take off a little bit, the first and the second, then we'll get back into recruiting from there.
Will you go to any of the championship games at AT&T Stadium, which is the weekend before Christmas?
I plan to. We'll be here working that weekend, and I plan to get over there and watch a couple games and show my face and have our brand out there, and I think that's important so a lot of kids can see us. And there'll be kids that aren't Power 5 or Power 4, whatever you call themselves. They are Group 5 guys, and they might have an interest if they're Division II guys. They might have an interest in our program, and just because we are local, we're here, and mom and dad and family can come and watch them play. So there's a lot of kids that will have an interest in us just because of that, and we'll definitely get out there and watch some of those programs play.
Coach, I'm excited about next season already, and the past season just completed, but good luck on the recruiting trail, and
appreciate it.
Happy holidays from everybody here at Texas Wesleyan. And let's go Rams up for recruiting, and we'll look forward to seeing the Rams and Coach Sherrod next year in 2025. For Coach Sherrod and his staff, for Kenneth Flowers, for James McBride and his assistant Aaron, for Ricky Dotson, everybody at Texas Wesleyan, happy holidays. Have a wonderful, prosperous, happy 2025. Adios, amigos. Rams up.
Rams up.